Hi everyone, Dr. Suneel Dhand, internal medicine physician. Welcome to another video. Let's talk about intermittent fasting. This is an absolutely huge topic, worthy of a lecture for a couple of hours or so. At least I could talk for a long time about intermittent fasting, the science, and some strategies. There's lots of different ways that anybody can go about intermittent fasting. But I'm going to share some basics with you in this short video and my own strategy. Intermittent fasting is good because it actually takes us back to nature. Back in the day, our ancestors, they wouldn't wake up in the morning and plow their bodies full of food first thing as soon as they wake up. They would wait before they ate. I know the modern day system, the establishment, has set everything up for people to eat all of the wrong foods in the morning, sugary cereals, etc. Totally unnatural. And what happens then? People get sick, and then they're on the hamster wheel, the medical industrial complex hamster wheel, and Big Pharma gets very rich. Our modern day lives are the opposite in many ways of how they should be lived in order to be healthy, because insulin resistance is one of the key drivers of most modern chronic diseases. And if you intermittently fast, you will naturally keep your insulin levels low for as long as possible. I'd like you all to remember that, because that is a key reason why intermittent fasting works for so many people, not just to lose weight, but also to reverse a lot of chronic diseases. Modern day lifestyles keep our insulin levels very high, much higher than our grandparents and great-grandparents. And what happens then? You become insulin resistant, you get pre-diabetes, you get type 2 diabetes from years of insulin resistance developing. Intermittent fasting helps to reverse that insulin resistance, and it naturally keeps your insulin levels low. There are lots of other physiological processes that happen when you fast that are also beneficial, and anybody can fast to a level which is appropriate for them. Let me tell you what my strategy is, because I was seeing so much research on the benefits of fasting, and a few months ago I started fasting in the morning. I wouldn't do it every day, especially when I work out first thing in the morning, then I do need to eat. But a lot of days I am able to fast in the morning, or shall we even call it time-restricted eating. I started going in increments, and let me give you an example. Last week I worked in the hospital, and I would say for 4 of those days, I didn't eat anything until 1 or 2 p.m. And remember, I was starting work very early in the hospital, around 7 a.m. I would hydrate myself, I would have some tea, but I wouldn't actually eat anything. And I remember when I first started doing this a few months ago, I would feel very hungry around 10 or 11 o'clock, but I would gradually keep going up in the amount of time that I was fasting. And last week, for instance, I found that between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., when I was feeling hungry before, I would actually be feeling on fire. My mind would be very clear, and this may have been because of an adrenaline surge, but regardless, I've noticed that I actually feel very good when I fast in the mornings. So if you do the calculation, assuming I ate at 8 p.m. the night before, that's a fast for about 15 or 16 hours. Time-restricted eating is another word that lots of people use. Many people who fast may fast for longer, but my strategy, because I actually don't need to lose weight, my body fat percentage is very good, I'm doing it purely for my health and to keep my insulin levels naturally as low as possible for as long as possible, because I've seen the research on the benefits. That is why I try to fast now for as long as possible in the mornings, and I can probably pull it off 3 or 4 days a week at least. The other days I will work out first thing in the morning. Like today, I worked out very early and then I had to eat afterwards. Nothing has to be rigid, and I can't stress enough, anybody who wants to do this should do it at a level which is appropriate for them and work in increments. Certain people find it very difficult to fast in the mornings. Women, hormonally as well, find it more difficult than men do. But I want to go over some key principles here. Number 1, truly understanding insulin and its role. Insulin is a hormone which is produced by the pancreas that plays a crucial role in regulating blood sugar levels. When you eat, your body breaks down carbohydrates into glucose, which enters your bloodstream. In response, your pancreas releases insulin to help cells absorb glucose for energy or storage. Consistently high insulin levels, aka the modern day lifestyle, often caused by frequent eating and high-carb diets, will lead to insulin resistance, weight gain, and metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes. Let me go over again how time-restricted eating works. Well, it involves consuming all your daily calories within a specific time window, typically 6 to 8 hours, and fasting for the remaining 16 to 18 hours. For example, you might eat between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m., and then fast from 8 p.m. until noon the next day. That's similar to what I just described to you. Remember, there are lots of different ways that you can do this at a level which is appropriate for yourself. Let's talk about some more mechanics of intermittent fasting. It can include various patterns such as the 16-8 method, 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of eating, like we just mentioned. The 5-2 diet, eating normally for 5 days and consuming very few calories on 2 non-consecutive days, or alternate day fasting. Regardless of the method, the common goal is to extend the fasting period, allowing insulin levels to drop and giving your body a break from constant digestion and insulin production. Let's talk again about the benefits of keeping your insulin levels naturally low. It is so important, and I tell a lot of people, think in terms of your insulin levels. Is what you are doing keeping your insulin levels low, or are they constantly spiking because of your lifestyle? Number one, improved insulin sensitivity. By reducing the frequency of eating, time-restricted eating and intermittent fasting allow insulin levels to drop between meals, improving your body's sensitivity to insulin. This means your cells become more effective at using glucose, reducing the risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Number two, weight management and weight loss, a goal for a lot of people these days. Lower insulin levels help your body shift from using glucose for energy to burning stored fat. This metabolic switch can lead to weight loss and improved body composition as your body becomes more efficient at accessing fat stores. Number three, reducing inflammation. Remember, the goal of many wellness strategies is to reduce the amount of inflammation in your body. I spend a lot of time talking with my patients about this. High insulin levels are associated with generalized chronic inflammation, which is linked to a number of health issues, including diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Intermittent fasting can lower inflammation markers in your body, promoting overall health and longevity. And number four, enhanced autophagy. Fasting triggers autophagy, a natural process where your body cleans out damaged cells and regenerates new ones. This cellular housekeeping helps prevent diseases and promotes optimal functioning of your organs and tissues. I'd like to give you some practical tips now for starting time-restricted eating and intermittent fasting. Number one, choose a method. Decide which fasting method fits your lifestyle. The 16-8 method is popular for beginners due to its simplicity and sustainability. Number two, stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water, herbal teas, and black coffee, if that's your thing, during fasting periods. Number three, eat nutrient-dense foods. When you do eventually eat, focus on whole nutrient-dense foods, as pure as possible during your eating windows. Minimize ultra-processed foods. Obviously, minimize sugars, that goes without saying. Prioritize proteins, fats, vegetables, and whole grains to fuel your body. Number four, listen to your body. Pay attention to how your body responds. It's normal to feel hungry initially, but this usually subsides as your body adapts. If you experience adverse effects, if you really start to feel faint or unwell, then please immediately eat and seek medical help. So in conclusion, I do believe that intermittent fasting at a level appropriate for the individual is very good. Numerous research studies back this up. The more you are able to fast, the lower you keep your insulin levels, the more likely you are to be healthy overall. Is it easy? No, absolutely not. Like most things which are worth achieving, it takes hard work and determination. But I do believe that anybody can do it. It's simply a question of overcoming that demand from your primitive brain for food because you're used to it in the modern day environment. You're used to eating way more often than you should. You will demand it at first, but with time and determination, you will get over those cravings and your body can adjust to almost anything. With time, your body will surprise you. but so many people have successfully used intermittent fasting and time-restricted eating to not only lose weight, that tends to be the arena where we talk about it the most, but also to reverse a lot of chronic diseases. It is simply not natural to have these constant insulin spikes during the day that the modern day lifestyle and environment gives us, and the establishment keeps on encouraging us to go down this path, because guess what? They make a lot of money from you and your family when you eventually get sick. And intermittent fasting is a good strategy to avoid going down that path. Thanks everyone for watching. Feel free to comment down below. Share with us your stories of intermittent fasting and time-restricted eating. Check out my website and my free downloads. Those links are down below. Hit the like button if you like this video and the bell button for more similar videos in the future. We will speak again very soon.